the burning topic, the viral topic, the one that's just turned the whole country of Pakistan upside down. In fact, the Pakistanis are really, really concerned about yet another incident has brought great shame to their wonderful country. So I think you might have heard of it if you're not living under a rock. There was a TikToker who posted that she's going to go to the Tower of Pakistan, commonly known as Minar-e-Pakistan, to celebrate Pakistan's Independence Day, which was on 14th of August. Yes, she announced that. And now the opinion again is turning against her, as it always does in patriarchal and male-dominated society. They have this habit of blaming the victim. So she's a victim. So she went there, and then nearly 400 men groped her, molested her, stripped her naked, and that lasted for nearly 2 hours. So that has got the country divided. Again, the feminists are speaking in her favor, as they should, because she is a victim. But then there's another type of, which is probably the majority of people that are saying, trending something like, not all men. So I want to start, I want to run it by you and actually show you how it actually goes. So this is our prime minister, first of all, who says, I can say after going all over the world, this Pakistani society gives more respect and dignity to women. He always says that. He makes silly comments. And then on the other hand as well, he says, he makes comments like this, that it is common sense that in a sexually frustrated society, which is Pakistan, short clothes will definitely trigger frustrated men. And then he says, oh, it was taken out of context. I was saying that it's common sense. Islam gives you the idea of parda, burqa, hijab. So that lowers the temptation. Again, it's a very flawed logic because we've shared many stories like that. There's so many boys who get sexually molested. So what are you going to do with boys? Are you going to put them in burqas and hijabs as well? So I actually made a little video just to show the comical genius of our prime minister. Check this out.
Gives dignity, respect to women. In fact, let me say, having traveled all over the world, I find that in Muslim countries, in Pakistan, even in other Muslim countries I've seen, women have far more treated with respect and given more dignity.
But this is the dignity that Imran Khan is talking about, that women enjoy. Now, some people posted online how, these celebrities like Lady Gaga or whatever, the pop celebrities, they just jump in the crowd and nobody dares to molest them or touch them up inappropriately. But this is something that is foreign to our prime minister. Actually, is it? Because he used to go to those rock concerts. So he's aware how a civilized society works, but he's just singing the tune that his people want to hear. And he makes up same excuses that you would hear a Taliban would be making. Taliban is actually a plural, so a Talib would be making. So I thought I'll say Taliban just in case you don't know. This is the kind of society. Look at this girl. She's wearing a burqa. She's wearing a hijab. And this guy just fingers her. And I've shared these stories so many times. There's another one. And look at this gentleman just trying to find something. You lost something there, mate. That is the nature of Pakistani society, where they just feel like blaming the victim. And they just say, well, why did she go there in the first place? Well, what did she expect? I must actually see some sense in that for those who are disillusioned people. It's like, just imagine what would happen if I say, hey, guys, I will be going to Minar-e-Pakistan, Lahore, and come and see me. I would say hello to my fans. I don't have to spell it out. What would happen to me? So now the problem here is they proudly own that. They say, yes, we will kill a blasphemer. We're not civilized when it comes to blasphemy. Okay. Now the question is, are you civilized when just a woman walks out in the open? So they're saying that, no, you should understand that we are not civilized people. If we see a blasphemer, we'll chop them into pieces. If we see a woman, we will pounce on her like a pack of dogs. And that's exactly what they're saying that the woman should have understood. And I think there is some sense in that. Women who think that, oh no, we live in a wonderful country, we should celebrate Pakistan Zindabad, we should wave the flag of Pakistan on Independence Day, and nothing will happen to us. Wow. Now you have the answer. You know what would happen to you. So this is why we know blasphemers are not safe in Pakistan. Atheists are not safe in Pakistan. Just like that, women are not safe in Pakistan. Just admit it. So I don't understand why they're so angry. Why do they have to say not all men and then they have to blame the victim as well? If you think this is okay, now they've actually turned the tide. Social media is going at this woman now. They're blaming her. They're saying that you announced that you're going to be at Minar Pakistan. Therefore, you brought it upon yourself. So that's the logic they're going with. So what about this girl? Have a look at this girl. She's just sitting on a in a tuk-tuk. Chingchi, we call it chingchi because it's like a motorbike with a tuk-tuk at the back, just a little cart kind of thing. Anyway, so these two girls, young women, are sitting there along with a child. Look what happens. There you go. Check it out. So this guy just jumped on a tuk-tuk and just forcefully kissed her. And the guy who's filming it, he didn't expect it. It's just some random guy just jumped in and he's like, "Yay, well done. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, well done. This is something. There's so much. What did he say? He used the word. There's some sort of euphoria in that. That's what he said. So who are they now? What was the fault of this woman? She was sitting in a tuk-tuk. I think and these people will say that yes, why did she go out unaccompanied? Someone actually commented when I tweeted that. They would say that why does she even have lips? So, because she has lips, it means you can go and forcefully kiss her. So that is the nature of Pakistan, where this is such a big sexually frustrated society that women are no longer safe there, and they don't want to recognize that. And these men, this toxic masculinity, they get so triggered that they, instead of saying, yes, there is something wrong here, maybe there's something wrong, but instead of acknowledging that, they start blaming the victim. So what else is happening in Pakistan? Have a look at this. So is that all there is? So if you go out, then you deserve to be molested? That's the logic that they're using. Where did they get this logic from? They get it from the Quran. Look what it says. It says, "O Prophet, enjoin your wives and your daughters and the believing women to draw a part of their outer coverings around them. It is likelier that they will be recognized and not molested." So that's the logic from the Quran, that if you don't cover up, you're going to get molested. What are you expecting? You're going to get molested. And this is not just my interpretation. Have a look at this woman, this Pakistani Muslim woman. She says, "Men are not robots. In fact, women should keep their moral values first and apply burqa. Otherwise, they will get abused and insulted, as Quran says." She's right. This is what the Quran said. This is the Quranic logic. So I actually wrote a few. I wrote a thread on Twitter about it, and I want to run it by you. So how it actually works. This is how it actually works. So as you guys know, Allah Almighty, in all His wisdom, in His book, the Quran, instead of giving law and order assurances, simply says, well, women would be molested if they don't wear burqa or niqab. This is the same mentality as the men who molested this woman. This is why you must round up women like cattle in a car. Like this. Look at this. This is how you protect your women. You sit at the top, and women are just shoved in there like a cattle. Like a cattle in the car. Or if they refuse to be treated like animals, then do this. So this doesn't happen, the clip that I showed you where this woman was molested by 400 men. But countries that follow a different logic achieve this. Neither women are treated like animals, nor their men become monsters, you saw in the video that I showed you, because their leaders emphasize no means no. Women don't owe you sex regardless of their clothing. Have a look at this. How come no one's molesting this woman or this girl or this girl? Why is this man looking somewhere else and not staring at her? Or this man, I don't know where he's looking. Why this man is reading his book? Why this man is looking at his mobile phone? Why this man is looking at that man? No one is doing what these men do in Pakistan. Why they do it? Because it's a sexually frustrated society. One evidence of that is Pakistan, again, despite of government banning porn websites, they still are number one. Have a look at this. This is brand new, 1st of March 2021. Here's a list of the top 10 countries that stood above all in the race of watching porn online. Pakistan, number one. Guess what the other country is? Egypt, another very sexually frustrated society. Any woman that's been there would tell you, especially if a blonde woman goes there, she'll tell you how they get molested there. Vietnam, Iran, Morocco, India, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. I think Australia is number 12, but this is per capita. So that tells you how sexually frustrated Pakistan is. And what's the reason behind that? It's because segregation. Have a look at this one. And have a look at the stark difference between two schools of thoughts. Here's this man, he's a mufti. He's saying a woman cannot even perform Hajj, the annual pilgrimage, without mahram, without a male guardian. But that lady was making TikTok with hundreds of non-mahram men, meaning men who are not related to her, while dancing. Summary of this: disobedience to Allah's command is a source of destruction and humiliation in this life and hereafter. Now, that is obviously, as I said, I showed you the Quranic verse. This is exactly the same logic that Quran follows, the creator of the universe follows. But as I say before, Pakistani judicial system is actually not built on Sharia. So this is what Chief Justice, a judge, is saying: a woman, whatever her sexual character or reputation may be, is entitled to equal protection of law. No one has the right to invade her privacy on the ground of her alleged immoral character. Such a simple logic. But why don't these people get it? They don't get it because they live in a patriarchal society and they want their women, they want to control their women. That is as simple as that. And what is the result of that? Have a look at this. Lahore High Court, they presented a report in Lahore High Court, and in the current year, in the running year, up until 1st of August, 34,000 cases of rape have been reported. Now, 34,000 means in 7 months, so over a year, it would be 60,000. And Imran Khan himself said that the rape cases are reported are at least 4 times more than what is reported. So if we go by that, that's 240,000. That's only in Punjab, the largest province of Pakistan. So 240,000 cases of rape. Now that would be higher than any other country that you'd imagine. Why that is? Because it's a sexually frustrated society. How sexually frustrated it is. Have a look at this. Just in Islamabad, on 14th of August, a 12-year-old sister accused her brother of raping her for years. A woman allegedly gang raped after being lured for a job interview in Lahore. So these guys just said, hey, come here, we want to give you a job, we'll interview you. And then they gang raped her. In Tata, another town in Lahore, in Punjab, a 14-year-old girl's dead body was pulled out of a grave and they raped it. This one. Have a look at this. Another brother raped his sister. This is all in 1 week. And this is all what's made the news. As I said, most cases are not reported. And this is a reason why. So here's simply the logic. The logic of Islam and logic of these men says, if women go out, they will be raped. So they should stay at home. But Pakistanis are even more confused than Taliban are. At least Taliban try to stick with the logic. They say, okay, no school, no colleges, no workplaces. That's it. You stay at home. Well, that's another topic that they get at home. They get raped by their family members. That's a different thing. But in Pakistan, they're more confused. But they say, no. You can go to school. You can go to colleges. You can go to workplaces. But if you go to Pakistan or something, then, well, then you're going to get raped. It doesn't make sense. So you have to get out of your house if you go to school or a college or a university or your workplace. Then what? women get raped over there too, like the one just I showed you. A woman, she went to give a job interview, but instead she was raped. She was gang raped. Um, and as I said, the people who are watching porn, that just tells you how sexually depraved they are. Pakistan, if Pakistan didn't have this culture of arranged marriages, trust me, what you saw here last week, incel terrorist attack, you would be seeing that every day. And this is probably the reason why they actually let it out on women. I made a tweet and I said someone sent this photo. I actually told him off that he shouldn't show it, but there is a common there's a banner that women feminist activists in Pakistan pick it up every year, and they display it. And what they say that, okay, I sat like that with open legs because it's a part of the culture that, oh, a woman should always sit like this, like this. She shouldn't even look up. So these feminists said, okay, so what? I sat like that. So this guy was somewhere, and he took a photo of this girl who was sitting like this, and he said, look, so what? He said, look, Haris Bhai, this woman was sitting like that. Nobody was staring at her. Nobody was looking at her. But in Pakistan, the whole country says, no, you shouldn't sit like that. If you sit like that, you deserve to be raped. That's the logic they follow. So to conclude this, Pakistan is getting worse and worse for women. Why? Because it's becoming more and more sexually frustrated, and they have failed their youth. They have these men are coming out in force on social media, and you can tell how the country is thinking, what the prevalent way of thinking is. They simply say, if you go out, you're fair game. Like the video I showed you, this girl was just sitting in the back of tuk-tuk, and this guy just jumped on it, and all the other guys were just laughing. One TikToker just goes to celebrate Pakistan's Independence Day, gets molested, stripped naked, by 400 men. So far, I think 80 people have been arrested. Some of the comments were favorable initially, were encouraging initially, but now they've started. Even the authorities have started shifting the blame to the woman. Last I heard was a girl is arrested because the guy she was with, she had claimed that he was her fiance, but he's not, as though that's a crime. But anyway, they're trying to shift the blame because they think, oh, now all the men of Pakistan are being painted as evil men. Sorry, they are. They are sexually frustrated men. And when I say all men are pigs, especially Pakistani men, I'm a man too, and Pakistani man. I don't feel challenged. I don't think that, oh, okay, if I say all men are pigs, most of them are in Pakistan. No, they are. They are. Um, I'm a man too. I'm a Pakistani man too. I don't feel attacked. So why do good men, those who say we are good men, why do they feel the need to say no, hashtag not all men? Because they're insecure. Because I'm telling you, the porn that I showed you, again, nothing wrong with watching porn. I'm not against that. Whatever, you can watch it if you want. I reckon you should watch it because if that saves some woman getting molested or becoming a victim of your sexual frustration, then go beat the monkey and watch some porn. But these guys have failed their youth. And sooner or later, they will start demanding that, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't go to a university. Maybe you shouldn't go to a workplace. And legally, there's a culture that, okay, women should go to universities and workplaces. But most families, this is why, discourage their women. There was a report that said that uh, so many women in Pakistan end up becoming doctors, but they're never allowed to work. They never practice the medical profession because of these reasons. Because they think, well, she's going to get molested, she's going to have affairs with someone, and government spends so much money because higher education is almost free. The government education is almost free, so it costs a lot of money to make a single doctor, and then they get their degree, they get their MBBS degree, and then they just sit at home. Why? Because there's a culture that women should not go out, despite the fact um, that it's allowed legally. But is it really allowed legally when your prime minister tells you that no, you shouldn't go out? Well, if you go out, well, what do you expect? These kind of comments you make, victim blaming. Yeah, this is what we say. Well, there's a saying in Pakistan. We say a frog off a well, which means that's his whole world. He just can't see anything outside. He goes, I'm very happy in Pakistan, and I always want to live in Pakistan, because you don't know. You're a little mendak. You're a little frog. You don't know what the world is like. even if you love your country, you should always wanting to be visiting other countries, because that's what that's how you learn about other cultures. That's the first and foremost way of learning about other culture. But you're brainwashed. You're a little brain dead child. So sorry. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.